first off, Crawl to Me.
Yeah.
Movie's been optioned now. Last time we were here, this was still sort of a twinkle in your eye.
Well, we have a director now, Victor Garcia. He's going around the film festivals with Gallows Hill, produced by Peter Block. So that's really exciting. And Rodar E. Rodar, who produced The Orphanage and Julia's Eyes, The Body, a bunch of Spanish films that received critical acclaim. They're on board. We met with them out in LA, great people. And we're actually extending offers to actors now. So
I'm sure there's nothing you can tell us about who you're extending them to, but what can you tell us about sort of the tone? Because sometimes these films take a little bit of a different approach when you adapt them from comic to movie. Sometimes they soften it, sometimes they make it a little bit harder. What's happening with Crawl to Me?
We have two great screenwriters on board, T.J. Sinfel and David White. And what they did with the material blew my mind. And they really fleshed out the characters and extended the story arc to a really explosive climax, and I think they did a fantastic job with it. So I think the tone of it, the essence of the book is going to come through in the film. Definitely we're going to set the stage with the mood, but the characters are even deeper and more fleshed out.
Excellent. Well, also, on the comic side, the Shunned One coming out. You got a new series coming out. I saw some of the art from it. Super creepy, which is pretty much to be expected these days from you.
Well, especially with this one, because this one is about a group of death angels, basically. One angel of death goes rogue because he doesn't want to kill innocent people anymore, and that changes the balance in the universe. And he's now being hunted. He's got to hide amongst the humans to fulfill his own prophecy.
Well, can you tell us a little about the design of it? I really like the design of these death angels, and I thought it was really unique. What can you tell us about sort of what went into that?
I purposely didn't want to do your typical Grim Reaper for these things. Yeah. And so I tried to really think of it like if this was a race, a different species that was here before us that really controlled the balance in the world. What would they look like? They have no clothing, they have no technology, everything is within them. And so they're very spiritual beings in that sense. And they're giant, and they're winged, and they are scary as hell.
Are there some sort of human cast members in this they were also going to be talking about here?
Well, that's an interesting point because they do have certain powers, and so they don't act like typical angels per se, as in traditional folklore or mythology. They can actually hide within humans that do not possess souls.
That's a very cryptic sort of description of who they can hide inside.
Right.
All right. Well, how about what else is going on? Kilogy. I mean, it feels like you've gone from doing a couple of different comics that are very well received to, you really established yourself as a horror writer, like as one of the big horror writers in comics right now. How does it make you feel that you're sort of getting these types of projects now and seeing this sort of success?
It's still a shock, I mean, I've been coming to New York Comic Con since I'm 16 years old, and this is the first time I'm on the other side of the table, so it feels great. I'm on a couple of panels for the last few years to kind of help aspiring artists get published. So it feels really good to kind of give back and also to bring it full circle because there was a lot of great artists that I looked up to, like Mike Zeck, The Punisher, who would always take 10, 15 minutes out of his time, busy sketching, to talk to me and give me pointers on my own work when I was completely trash, like just horrible, like trying to make stick figures come together. But he gave me some inspiring words, and I kept at it. So
are you getting to the point now where people are knowing you more for comics than music? Because for those who don't know, this is the Life of Agony. This is the man with Life of Agony here. So I'm very curious. Like, are you getting to the point now where people are, oh, you do music too?
Yeah, there's definitely that now too. And it's cool to see that the old Life of Agony fans are coming aboard with the comic stuff too. It's a weird crossover. and it works.
Well, what else is coming up for you? Anything else that we should know about that's going on with you? Trilogy or anything with wire hangers? I know there was a movie option there a while back. Anything else coming up?
That's been the hardest one to get going because of all the special effects involved with that one. So, we were working with some studios to develop some previs on that. That's kind of on the back burner right now. That Crawl to Me is the main focus.